What's geeking YouTube? I'm Frosty and welcome back to another stream. Today's going to be a quick one. My brother Dabney is coming to visit. He's also Gushnog on YouTube. And yeah, I had to clean the house, had to get everything ready, whatever. It took a while. Stream started a little late. I apologize for that. Look, guys, I've been making a lot of excuses like midterm, school, busy schedule. And I just wanted to apologize for that. I'd like to be the streamer that streams despite having a strict schedule and despite being busy. So, I think it's time for me to move on from the excuses and start doing this more consistently. This week was busy. I had 2 midterms. My brother's coming to visit. But that being said, I think like if I manage my time better, I should be able to stream longer and more frequently and still get enough sleep and still be able to stay on top of everything else I'm working on. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's something I want to actually work on, and I'm going to continue to do so. For today's stream, I got to get through these things quick because he's supposed to be here at 9:30 p.m. EST, so that gives me about 40 minutes to kind of get through stuff. A little under, probably about 35 minutes. So we'll jump right into the verse for the day. That's going to be Matthew chapter 13, verse 44, and that's in the ESV. Is what we're going to be reading today. So the verse goes like this: "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field." Now, I picked this one because it's one of the parables that Jesus told while he walked the earth, and it really stuck with me. And I know I probably say that about a lot of verses, but this is the truth. They really do stick with me. But this one had me thinking. It's like, what could I relate to in this? Like things that I find on this earth, for example, a PSA 9 for alligator graded card. Like, for alligator's my favorite Pokemon, right? So I find a card that's worth $500, it's PSA 9. I'm like, dude, I want that. And so I went and I sold a bunch of stuff so that I could afford this card, and I bought it because I wanted it, because it was cool. And because I felt like I wanted to be the only one to have it, and I want to show that off to people. I want to share that with people. And the kingdom of heaven should be like that to us. If you think about it, like, regardless of who you are, where you come from, when you leave this physical world, when you leave Earth, when your life comes to an end, you think about the afterlife and that the happy place that you go to, right? And for me, that's heaven. That's the Christian faith. And the Bible speaks of heaven, this place that God has created for us to live eternally with Him and to glorify Him. And to me, I think I undervalue that, and I also kind of lean into the ignorance is bliss mindset, where it's like, well, I don't really need to try to conceptualize what that really means, because it's just going to be perfect. It's easy to just label it as perfect. But if you really think about it, heaven is supposed to be when you enjoy something think about it this way: when you enjoy something on earth, something that you love, for example, playing Minecraft with the boys on a Friday night and Christmas break is about to start, the world's going to be fun. That feeling of like fun and excitement and anticipation and just pure joy. Right? That's one example, the gaming version. Another version would be your marriage, when you get married to your significant other, a big success in your career, recognition for that kind of thing. Those feelings that you get, that joy, that satisfaction, that's what God describes heaven as eternally. You feel that eternally. So that's what this verse is trying to remind you. You're supposed to think of heaven this way, right? It's something you would drop everything for right now to join God in heaven, right? And there's other parables too. There's one where, he speaks to the rich man. The rich man's, lived a pretty good life, and he comes to God. He's like, God, what do I have to do to get into heaven? I've followed the 10 commandments. I think he said he never sinned, something like that. But God said, all you have to, you've done the right thing. All you have to do, sell everything you own right now and join me in heaven. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I'd like to look at that parable and say, oh yeah, I could totally do that. But I to be honest, I don't know if I could. And so that's something I have to think more about. I have to be more cognizant of that. But I want to share that with you guys. This kind of a reminder of the concept of heaven, how we get to it, what it really means, and what God is asking from us. Always asking us to have faith in Him and to look forward to and to build treasures up in heaven. We talked about that last stream. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into some Minecraft. All right, I'm going to move this around a bit. This will probably end up moving again. Let's go to the launcher. Yeah, well, it's been a while since I played the Forever World, dude. And hopefully, Natapat, if you're watching this later, I think I won't be able. I don't have time this stream. I have like 20-30 minutes left. But next time I play the Forever World, I would like to start building that spawn platform that I told you about. And I would like to build that recognition board for Natapat. Because he was, to be honest, I think Natapat's been my first loyal. No, for sure, he's been my first loyal viewer. He tries to drop in on every single stream. And he'll drop a message too. And dude, like, as long as I'm like making one person, happy or entertained by what I'm doing, that's all that makes me happy. Like, that's all I need, dude. It just fills me with joy. And so I'd like to, recognize you for that. I think it's worth it. Oh, wow. It feels so good. It feels like kind of like a nostalgia trip. Like I'm coming home for the first time in a while. Oh, let me get audio going. Let me actually make sure you guys can see everything. That's good. Let me get game audio because I know that that's always a problem. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Properties. Oh, I'm getting hit. I should probably take care of that. How did you get in here? Okay. Minecraft, where are you? There we go. Found Minecraft, so let's check the audio levels there. I don't have too much time to be picky with this stuff, so I'll turn this up a little bit. Got properties on this one. I've honestly gotten way better at being able to control the audio and all of the settings in OBS. I'm getting to a point where I can do it pretty quick. Like, I think this is good. I think what I have, like, kind of sets us up for success here. I'm also gonna enlarge in this a bit, so you can see my my pretty face. That going back to where it's supposed to be. I honestly can't tell when that's centered ever on the face cam, but there we go. I understand I'm probably not going to get a lot of viewers today. I'm not going to be streaming for very long, but that's a-okay with me. Let's get this guy out of here. Enderman, no! Was I smelting anything? I don't think so. Oh, wow, that is really loud. Ah! Okay. Time to finish up the base. I'm gonna try to keep working on and improving that Gronk voice. Dude, it's so cringe to me, but I think it's entertaining for you guys. I don't know. Just yell at me when if you want me to stop. But I've been playing this game, Disco Elysium, and one of the things my brother suggested, well, I think it just popped up randomly during, it popped up randomly during the last stream. I started using this Gronk. Or, no, Kronk. Kronk is the name. Kronk from Emperor's New Groove kind of voice. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about Kronk himself. I was just using a voice. Something like that. See, it's cringe when I try, but it'll get better. And anyways, I was using that voice, and my brother told me I should. He was like W Gronk impersonation or something. So he was like, you should play the whole game that way, or he said something along those lines, and I was just like, okay. And now you guys get to bear through that cringe with me. Oh, we got an Ender Pearl. Ender Pearl. So I added a poll in the chat today, and one second, I lost my train of thought. I added a poll in the chat today. The question is, when did you play Minecraft for the first time? So if you're watching this back later, I'd like to ask you, and you don't have to, obviously, but I think it'd be cool to start little discussions, just share a little bit, but tell me about your first time playing Minecraft. I think it's important to talk about that, right? For me, I have a lot of nostalgia with Minecraft. I started... Let's see, my first experience in general with Minecraft was like hearing about it at school in maybe 4th or 5th grade. And for me, oh gosh, what was that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dude, that was more than 10 years ago. That was like 13 years ago. I heard about Minecraft for the first time, and I just heard about it from classmates, and I was like, okay, that sounds kind of cool, like, cool survival game. I'm never going to be able to play that, because my parents are strict, and at the time, like, I'm in, like, 4th, 5th grade, you think I have money for that? But I went to a rich all-boys school for a little bit, and, you know, that's a whole story, but I did make some of my best friends there, or some of my closest friends at the time, and... Anyway, I digress. I heard about it for the first time, and I was like, okay, that'd be really cool, and, you know, probably fun to play, but I didn't think too much of it. And then I was walking in one of the school's buildings. This is a big school for some reason. I went to Gilman in Maryland, and I was walking in one of their buildings. I think it was there. So this was definitely 5th or 6th grade, and I'm trying to think, was it 6th grade? Because I know I did. Anyway, it was a building that had the workshop classroom, the wood workshop classroom. I don't really remember what they called the class, but it was workshop, and I was just walking to wood class, and it was just a normal day. And I saw one of the high schoolers, he had a MacBook, one of the early MacBook Lights, and he was playing Minecraft with the trackpad. And I looked at a screen. Dude, it's actually crazy. I was younger, and I was just walking, so I only saw a screen for like maybe 3 seconds max. And I retained every frame. It has been permanently embedded in my memory. And you want to know what he was doing? He was literally just mining down. He was doing a standard, like, 2x2 mining down. And I don't know why, but that stuck with me. He had an iron pickaxe. His hotbar had maybe 3 items in it. Iron pickaxe, torch, and some like, food. Probably raw. I think it was, like, raw pork chop. But, like, I retained every bit of this thing. And anyways, so that image stuck with me. I'm like, ooh, Minecraft. So I started thinking about it more. Anyways, my first experience playing it was actually... I'll have to think about this one, because that was my first experience ever seeing it. It had to either be Minecraft Pocket Edition, and not Pocket Edition Lite. I actually started on the paid Pocket Edition, because at the time, iTunes gift cards were a big thing, and I think I had, like, one left over, or I just ended up spending my parents' money, or somehow convincing them it was a good idea to buy Minecraft Pocket Edition, which, by the way, yes, it was. It was a great idea. Before I continue the story, I realize I'm just walking around aimlessly and opening things. So, let's get something started. I've got like 20 minutes left. What can I build? This room's kind of done for now, unless I need to add something. Do I start another farm? I'd like to start a sugarcane farm. I think I have maybe enough. Now, how much sugarcane do I really need? I'm almost done with this bookshelf. So maybe I won't do that. Think about this one. Pretty soon we're gonna make a zombie pigman farm, so we can have unlimited gold and EXP. Like, great for EXP. What farm should I build next? Okay. What I'll do is I'll scope the area for my next build, and then if anybody's watching this video back later, Matapat, and you'd like to suggest that I do anything, drop it in the chat what to build. Besides the new spawn platform. the spawn platform with the recognition board, as well as my first items that I use in the game, will be the first thing I build next time I do a more serious Forever World stream. That's the first thing I'll do. But if you're watching this back later, give me some suggestions of what you'd like to see me build. I'd like to do a pixel art stuff too. I think it's time. I think this building's about done. It's not that pretty, but I can always come back and edit it later. I think I'm kind of done with this build. Like, I'm ready to move on. But, oh wait, the roof might not be complete. Hold on. Maybe that's what we do this stream. I'll go get some more deep slate. It won't be that exciting, but I just realized I can't really get to the roof anymore. Did I seal it off over here? Anyway, yeah, my first experience playing Minecraft was probably Pocket Edition. And it was, oh man, it was such a blast. I had some good friends at the time, and we would have a lot of, it's weird to say now, but we had a lot of like sleepovers, right? We'd have each other over for quote unquote play dates, is what the moms call it at the time. Like that was always cringe to me. It's still cringe to me to call them that, but it was what it was. We had cool hangouts, little sleepovers, and we would play Pocket Edition for hours on end, dude. And dude, like zero sleep. I'm talking like days in a row, zero sleep playing this game. I made some cool builds on Pocket Edition that I wish I could pull back up now. I think I don't know if I posted it, but I think I put like a YouTube tips and tricks video somewhere. It might be on Google Images or like Google Photos for me. Yeah, Google Photos, like one of my accounts might have it. If not, it's gone. But I made some screen recordings of some Pocket Edition gameplay, and that involved some things that I built, right? One of the things I built was something that was really popular and something I really had fun doing in Pocket Edition was finding exploits and building quote-unquote redstone builds. Now, redstone did not exist in Pocket Edition for a long time, and we used, or I scoured YouTube and I tried all kinds of different things to kind of build redstone alternatives, right? For a while, water served as a sort of redstone. If you didn't know this, like water, if it flowed into a door, a wooden door, an oak wooden door would open or close that door. Like, Pocket Edition was crazy, man. It's kind of like a fever dream to me now, but there were so many cool things. The torch trick still works in PC to this day, like holding sand up with torches and then making big builds. And I made a bunch of quote-unquote redstone torch doorways where I would break one torch and it would be the series of blocks that would open kind of a gate that was blocked off by sand. Real quick, one of the things I'm going to put in the spawn is going to be my first pickaxe. I always feel bad when I make the wooden pickaxe, get my cobble, and throw it out or use it to death. So, well, literally. So, I framed it this time, and we'll put it at spawn. I saw another YouTuber do this. I think it was their Hardcore World, or it was a Skyblocker. But anyways, he did that, and I was like, that is such a cool idea. So if we got any chicken. Nice, we got some cooked chicken. Wait, why are these not going in? Oh, because it's turned off. That's actually interesting. So, anyways, I digress. Yeah, I need to get some slime. So I could turn this on or off. Oh, but I don't think that's gonna... There's definitely a better redstone clock option. Yeah, whatever, it is what it is for now. We can fix that later. But we at least get this thing going. So yeah, you kind of see the mechanism there. Me and Natapat hashed that out for a while. He was giving me a bunch of ideas, and we spent like an hour working on a design for a chicken farm, and now we've got it. Yeah, I've got like 10-15 minutes left, so I'm gonna run around and yap about Minecraft for a little bit more and some of my plans for this world, and we'll call it a night. My brother's visiting, and I want to be a good host, so that's what we're doing. Oh yeah, I forgot. So this is one of the things I was considering. This kind of almost flat-ish area with a sort of natural basement already carved out, which appears to actually be a sort of cave. Oh, there's some iron. Cool. By the way, I have old textures on. I think they just look better. If you disagree with me, that's okay. I get it. New Minecraft textures, like, some people love them. I don't, so I don't use them. That being said, though, I think these textures look great. I think this is just, it's just perfection, dude. Look at it. It's just beautiful. The iron is almost glowing. I think that's how it should be. So, yeah, we kind of emptied some of this out. So I could flatten it out with a base. And I could build, like, around... I'm thinking, like, a cool, maybe, wizard tower vibe. Or, like, a castle tower. But I'm also thinking, like... I don't know how I want to word this. Like a futuristic motel. Maybe not motel. Futuristic hotel vibe. What I'm thinking is like a block hotel with a bunch of pixel-like textured blocks in there. And those are like extensions to the building itself. It could probably... It could look great. I'll probably make it look terrible. But that could be fun. Regardless, first thing I'm doing... Like I said before, is going to be the spawn area. I'm just going to build a spawn radius size circle and a little bit wider than the spawn radius, the natural spawn radius. I'm going to have a recognition board for, you know, any loyal followers. Natapat's going to go on there and he's going to get like the honorary first loyal streamer spot. Or not streamer spot, but like loyal fan spot, whatever. And then loyal chatter. It's a chatter in my chat. Then I'm going to build... Dude, this roof is a little flat. Like, I feel like I could put something on top there. I just don't know what yet. Maybe a big glass bubble. I just am not too sure. Maybe I build like a smaller, perfect cube of glass on top. I don't know. There's a lot we could do there. But I'll build something here first. And then... We're not touching this again for a while. Because this is like... I'm sick of this. I put way too much time in this. I think it's time to work on some other stuff. Then we can come back to it later. Over here, I would really like to build a lighthouse. I think that would be really cool. And if not if not a lighthouse, a wizard tower of sorts. Possibly, maybe. The wizard... Actually, yes. Wizard tower has to be the way we go with this, so I can move my enchanting table to somewhere cool. And of course, all of these buildings are going to have really cool elytra entrances. Because I'd like to get that done soon, too. But, yeah. So we'll have the elytra. And then... To me... By the way, I think beating Minecraft now is defeating the Warden. I think that is beating the game. And I think the natural Minecraft boss progression should go like this based on their difficulty. I disagree with this. I don't like it. But this is the way I think it should be played based on difficulty. Clear the nether, right? You clear the bastion, clear the temples. Then you do the ocean temple. Then you beat the end. You save the elytra for... Well, no. You beat the end. You get the elytra. Then you come back to your base. And then you do the trials chamber. And then you move on to the Warden. Am I missing anything? I know there's like the Woodland Forest Mansion, but I don't think that's too challenging. And also, I've never seen village raids as like a main story quest, because you can easily build a farm for those and then just do that. But I think, and building farms out of all of these is really fun. So like for the Nether, which is the first step, I guess Woodland Mansion would be the first steps, like, or even before that you do like a pillager outpost, but I've already done that. Woodland Mansion is the next step. And then don't know. I actually don't know what a woodland mansion entails. I've never naturally stumbled upon one. Did they remove them from Minecraft? I don't think they did, because I've seen a lot of content involving them recently. So I don't know. But I think the natural progression goes like that. So you go Pillager Outpost, Woodland Forest, or Woodland Mansion. Then you go Nether. So Nether involves all of the Nether structures. So you've got the Bastion, the other one, and then the Fortress. So I think Bastions could be like the 2 towers with the bridge, or like more than 2 towers. Sometimes there's just 1 tower. So whatever the variants of that are, you clear those Bastions. And then clear the Fortress, because I've already done that too. I had 12 Blaze Powder, and now I have 13 Ender Eyes, something like that. So I did those. That's what I think the Minecraft progression is. So after the Nether, you come out, and then you do the Ocean Temple. I don't know if you do the Ocean Temple first. I'm not sure. To me, it's like these first few can be in any order, but this is the way I like to do it. After the Nether, you do the Ocean Temple, because now you've got possibly Netherite. I have some Netherite scraps. You're starting to build up that Netherite armor, but you're also still using some diamond. I don't even have diamond armor right now, and I've lost it all mining for Netherite. Bad strat. But I think after the Ocean Temple, you move on to the Trials Chamber. Clear those. It's not too hard. It's way more fun with friends, for sure. Trial Chambers are always more fun with friends. But if I don't have friends, I'm just going to bring all my puppies, all my dogs. And then eventually you can make a farm out of the Trials Chambers. That's where you get real fun. You put the omen on. I've been saving a bunch of omen potions, and that's something I would like to do. So I have, what do I have? 2 Bad Omen 5, and then 1 Bad Omen 2. So, over here we have just a Bad Omen potion. These are also really helpful for the pillager raid farms. That's something else I could do. I really seriously need an iron farm so that it's not even a resource I have to consider anymore. That would be a great farm to build next. I also need to go mining for diamonds again. It's been a while. I have none left. I'm still using iron armor, but I still can't get over the fact that I lost all my diamond armor. I lost all my diamond armor and tools using the bed mining strat in the Nether. Actually, it wasn't even that. I was just low HP because of the bed mining strat. And my brother was in the stream at the time. And he was like, hey, you should watch out for that lava. 1 hit and you're dead. And I was like, nah, I got this. And lo and behold, I was wrong. Yet again. That seems to be a trend with this kind of Forever World series. But yeah, I died. Lost all my diamond armor and stuff, but I have some tools. That's all that matters. Building some cool stuff in the Forever World. So let's see. Besides that, oh yeah, after the Trials Chamber, I think then you beat the end. So you get done with the Nether, you do the Ocean, you do the Trials Chambers. And then you go to the end. So you do the Trials Chamber on the natural difficulty. No omen potions, nothing like that. You just clear it. You go beat some of the spirit guys. You get try out some of the loot boxes. You're probably not going to get the crusher thing. What is that called? The mace. You're probably not going to get that your first time through. But if we do, that'd be awesome. I've been seeing videos where they will sometimes spawn in chests. I didn't know that was a thing until recently. But anyways, you save the higher difficulties for later, because you can make farms out of it. That's the thing. You can make farms out of all of those trial chamber spawners, and then that's where you make a bunch of the good money. So, yeah, you beat some of the trial chambers, and then you move on, and you go to the end. You go to the end. You beat the Ender Dragon, get the Elytra. At this point, it is critical. Before then would be ideal, but at this point you need to have a villager farm with mending. I think you need to at least have a mending villager. At least. Efficiency 5 would be great as well. Maybe sharpness 5 as well. Who knows? I can't be too picky. At least mending. At least mending. I cannot emphasize that enough. That's like that's the most important enchantment right now, because all my tools are breaking. I'm going to have to go get more resources. Yeah. EXP farms are great, but if you don't have mending on anything, like, all you're doing is re-enchanting new stuff over and over again. So, I'd like to get there eventually. Trying to think of what's next. So, after the end, I guess I'm saying all of this because at the very, very end, I think the Warden is the most difficult boss. I know you can cheese it, so maybe he's not. Maybe the Ender Dragon is what we save for the end. But I'd like the Elytra earlier, you know? But I guess a caveat to that is, I am really glad that they added the Happy Ghasts, because you can still kind of fly around with them. I think it makes building easier. I've never used... Wait, I have... That's a lot. I have used one once in a realm that I shared with some of my friends recently. But I didn't test it out too much. I didn't really practice building or breaking stuff. I actually didn't even think to. So... Yep, that's enough of me yapping. That's the plan for the Forever World. So I'll go over it one more time. First thing we're going to do is we're going to build a spawn platform with a recognition board and maybe some other things, like showing off my first pickaxe. Then I also might change the world spawn to be closer to my base so I can have that platform closer, but I don't know yet. Maybe I'll throw a poll out there later when I have more followers. After that, I'm going to build my base, because this right here is like the crafting center. I'm going to build my base right over there, and then I'm going to build the enchanting tower over there. So that's going to be the progression. We'll build some other farms and stuff later, but that's it. That's the plan. That's what we got. So, anyways, thank you guys for joining. I know this was a shorter stream. If you're watching this back later, I apologize it's so short. Maybe it's easier for you to watch it that way, but this is not how most of my streams will end up going. If you look at any of my VOD postings, they're all like 2 to 7 hours. So my goal is always 2 hours. Couldn't do that today because my brother's actually 5 minutes out now, so I'll have to hop off stream. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. And once again, I apologize for the shorter stream. I will do better. I am doing it. So, all right. Peace out, bros. Have a good one.